T minus 80 seconds. T minus 70 seconds. T minus 60 seconds. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 15 seconds.
I am all on my own. I'm on my own. Everybody's doing something. Matt's got his niece's birthday. Yoda's on holiday. Sean's still hunted by the FBI. So yeah, I'm all on my own. But I don't mind. I've actually kind of wanted to do this on my own, especially live. Oh, scrub that. Let's take that again. None of that today. Hello to everybody and welcome to the Outpost Frequencies, which we're now rebranding the Sunday Roast. Brought to you by thelastmovieoutpost.com for all of your movie news, reviews, and everything cool about films. Whoa, new intro. Hang on. No, it wasn't. Or is it just me talking? I should have done the whole Outpost Frequencies thing first. But anyway, hello, Big Gator. Nice for you to join us. Thank you very much. Join me. Thank you very much. Yes, like I say, the Last Movie Outpost, all your movie news, reviews, and everything cool about films. As you may have noticed, first thing we're actually going to talk about is updates on the website. Now, we weren't on last week, were we? Long story short is, we had an influx of visitors, which was wonderful, and we were all very pleased and very excited. However, this caused a crash on our system, and a crash which was pretty massive, deleting some of the database. So we basically had to rebuild the site from scratch, unfortunately. I think some of the stuff has been saved, but it wasn't good. Overall, it's been Matt who has been rebuilding the site, and an excellent job he has been doing at it. I did try to help out. Unfortunately, it was utterly pointless me trying to help out. It was a system that I was trying to learn, and the learning curve was like this. And so I left it to Matt. And so, like I say, the other guys have obviously been putting their input in and everything else, but Matt's done an excellent job. So I'm just getting that across that it was mostly him that did it. But the website is now back up and running. So if you go to thelastmovieoutpost.com, all of our reviews are going to be coming back, all that kind of stuff. And we do have some new things planned for the future, but they are being kept under wraps at the moment. So that was just to let you know what's going on there. No, if you have Discord, no, I don't. I don't have Discord. I forget why I gave it up. I can't remember now, but I did give it up. But that's okay. Like I say, you can still chat to me over this if you like. So what has been going on? Quick story I do want to tell. This was quite funny. I have a drone. It's only a mini Mavic. It does the job. I went down to my hometown of Plymouth in southwest England recently to see my mum, who still lives down there, but to do some filming. Myself and my dad made some films, some videos about the history of Plymouth, and the modern day footage was actually shot in 1995, so I felt it needed updating. Long story short is, which is now too late, but the long story short is, I took the drone out to a lovely little spot just the other side of Plymouth to take some lovely photos of it in the sunset and everything else. Everything was going swimmingly until the drone lost signal. Now, fortunately, it's a DJI Mini Mavic, so it's quite a decent little drone, and it's got GPS built into it. As I was desperately searching for the signal and looking up into the sky and not seeing anything around, I walked back to where my mum and my sister were, and I said, "I've lost it." My mum was like, "What do you mean lost it?" I said, "Lost it. It's gone. It's gone. I've lost it." But fortunately, DJI fit in their drones a return to home function, which is wonderful. This is what happened. I've got this all ready to go. I've turned the sound off because I put music over it. This is the drone landing. This is me on the phone saying, "I'm coming home because I've lost my drone," close to tears. And literally just as it lands, I come around the corner and then it's going, "Reunited because it feels so good." A mild heart attack was averted. It was pretty scary. Like I say, I'm not an idiot with my drone. I know where and where I can't fly it, and I do take good care of things. But unfortunately, like I say, it was very scary to see it go. Drones. Was he saying that? Oh, sorry, let's get rid of that. Drones where anyone can be a helicopter. Exactly. And like I say, but the long story short of it is one of the reasons I wanted to use a drone was there was an old building in Plymouth called the Civic Centre, which is now ready for being to be demolished. And in 1995, we got to the top of there and did some filming, and it was fantastic. But obviously with a drone, you don't need to do that anymore because you just send the drone up and do all the filming. It's great. I was doing some filming today, actually. It was quite interesting. And so far, I haven't been accosted by anybody saying, "You can't fly that here." So, yeah, I just wanted to tell you that little story because it was quite amusing. Okie doke. I am going to keep it a bit short and sweet this evening because the other guys aren't here. So, like I say, I'm just going to keep it a bit short and sweet. So, The Flash cameos. I'm saying now in big, bold letters, spoilers. Now, if you've been to the website, you have seen that The Flash has been doing the rounds. The new trailer is out. I must admit, I've not actually seen the new trailer because I'm just not that bothered with seeing The Flash at all, to be perfectly honest. But, I mean, I will watch it when it comes out on streaming, but I'm not that bothered. But they have been major spoilers of who is in it. Now, like I say, I am saying again, big spoilers. If you don't want to know this, just turn the sound off for a minute. Don't leave because I don't want to be on my own. But yes, they have brought back Superman in The Flash in the form of Christopher Reeve. Because obviously the poor man can't stay dead and they have to literally dig up his bones to sort of do anything. And again, you're thinking, okay, Christopher Reeve, was a great Superman. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the guy was fantastic. But having him as Superman in the new Flash is still quite insultive to what has generally become known as one of the best Supermans who's alive in the form of Henry Cavill. It's a good job you don't mind spoilers because, like I say, because I am spoiling this. But you've got Henry Cavill, who has been playing Superman perfectly in what are some awful films. I'm still going to say. I know Eggy is a big Superman fan, but Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, Justice League vegan. But he as Superman is brilliant. But to bring back Christopher Reeve, and you know what? They brought back somebody else, and I've already forgotten who that is. That's terrible of me, isn't it? I'm sure they've got another Superman in there. That's right. Sorry. Yes. God, come on, brain. That's right. Also, they have a cameo of Nicolas Cage as Superman. Now, as you may know in your cinema history, Nicolas Cage was supposed to be playing Superman in, I can't remember what it was called, but a Tim Burton. They started to put everything together. There is footage online that you can see of Nick Cage in the Superman outfit and everything else, but apparently they have brought him in this does seem very much like, I remember, you remember? And just put member berries in there, because obviously they've got to take the focus off Ezra Miller, who has, I mean, it was only a year ago, he was going completely doolally, and now they've got him back as the Flash. So they've got to do something to sort of bring these people back, which is, again, it's to me, it's just member berries. And it's what they did in the Spider-Man No Way Home, obviously bringing back the 3 Spider-Mans with a load of his bad guys and everything else, but they were films that at least existed. You know, they're not just, it wasn't kind of like, oh yeah, and Danny DeVito was supposed to be playing Spider-Man at some point, so we brought him in. It's very strange. Are you going to watch The Flash? Are you bothered about it? Are you excited about it? It's one of those things that superhero movies really are getting to the end now. But let us know in the comments below. Gonna have to be careful with this one. So, oh, hang on, just to go back to that. So, Christopher Reeve, why does Hollywood hate Henry? It's weird, isn't it? They get Chris Pratt because he's Christian, but yeah, I don't. It's kind of like they've got like a passive hate towards Henry Cavill for some strange reason. It's ridiculous, and I don't understand it either. I'm the same as you, Gator. It's weird. Yeah, waiting for reviews. You can be rest assured that the review you get from the last movie outpost will be honest and not a sellout, because nobody's offered us any money for stuff like that. Anyway, yes, The Colour Purple is getting a remake. Like I say, gonna have to be very careful how I word this. So I don't remember The Colour Purple. I do remember it was quite a strong, emotional movie that was originally done in the 80s with obviously by Steven Spielberg, starring Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah Winfrey, and that's the only 2 people I can remember in it. But this new version is a musical, which first of all makes my brain immediately went, oh, what's next? The Schindler's List, the musical. We're going to the chambers. You know, it's just weird to make it, you know, because obviously I know the story is a very strong and emotional journey about African Americans in the time of slavery and everything else, but then to make a musical of it seems a little inappropriate. But they have got everybody's favourite, was it Halle Bailey, who's just been starring as the Little Mermaid, apparently very badly. From what I've heard she's not particularly very good in it. And again, Little Mermaid, it's just, you know, it's a remake. Why do they do this? Why do they do this? Why do they remake things that just have already existed? The Colour Purple was an excellent movie. Now, Spielberg wasn't getting the Oscars for it. There were lots of nominations, but he wasn't because of politics. But there's a perfectly good movie there, so let's remake it. I suppose the main reason why they can remake this one is because it's now an African-American director, African-American cast, and very few white people in it. So it kind of ticks all the boxes of what you can and can't do. Like I say, being very careful with what I say, because there's nobody here to monitor me. No, I am being very careful. It's one of those things, like I say, the trailer is on the website if you want to have a look at it, but it's just, I'm just not bothered. Why they've got to do these things, I have no idea. Musical, the movie is about abuse. Musical just don't sit right. I know. They kind of did it it was 42nd Street, wasn't it? You know, where you had the 2 gangs facing off against each other and stuff like that. But no, yeah, the movie is, The Colour Purple is about abuse. So let's turn it into a jolly fun old musical. He whipped me again. There is a funny sketch. I'm not going to go into it, but there is a funny sketch actually of 2 comedians from Britain called alas, Smith and Jones, and they do a good thing about musicals and inappropriate music for musicals. But yeah, so if you're interested, The Colour Purple is out there, and it's on its way, and it's ticking every box imaginable. More trouble at Marvel. Not just Marvel, but DC as well, but more trouble at Marvel. So, Jonathan Majors, who is playing Kang, has been investigated for alleged abuse. Alleged is going to be the word of the day. But yes, he's been investigated for alleged abuse. Because of this, it looks like Marvel want to drop him. Now, this is a bit of a pain because most of what's the word? What's that thing called? Phase 5, sorry. Most of that was centered around him. I'm just going to find the information on it in a minute. We've got now a search bar in the which is working on the website now. Very impressive. Trouble at Marvel. There we go. Let me just call up the details here just to remind myself. So, Phase 5 and 6 were not going to be Kang-centric until Loki happened. And then Kang turned up in Loki, and then everybody was like, oh, yes, he's a great bad guy. Let's sort of bring him into the universe. However, just trying to remind myself of the details. Like I say, unfortunately now, it looks like they're going to be dropping Jonathan Majors because of these allegations and everything else. And so that means then they haven't now got a focus of a bad guy. Obviously in phase 1, 2, 3, they had... Was it 1 to 3? Yeah, 1 to 3. They had obviously Thanos, to focus on. And it made a good collaboration to bring it all up. It was fantastic. But now if you haven't got the main bad guy, it's what happened with phase 4. There was no direction in phase 4 of where everything was going to go. It was very just linear and no big build up to anything. And sort of phase 4 finished. And then phase 5 kicked off with whatever the new one was. I can't even remember now. Oh, Quantumania, sorry. But it kicked off with that. And then once that, but again, it now looks like the phase 5 is becoming a flop. So there's a bit more trouble at Marvel, unfortunately. And like I say, with DC as well, they're trying to take all the focus off the fact that Ezra Miller is mad as a bag of hammers. And this time last year was allegedly assaulting people and allegedly kidnapping people and all kinds of trouble. But yet they still had to release the movie. Otherwise they were going to lose too much. But that seems to be the way of the world at the moment, doesn't it? Of losing too much money and so forth. There we go. Man, what a throwaway of your career. Getting high praise for Creed and Marvel appearances, then he just blows everything. I know. But then it's kind of one of these things that I never like knowing about the personal lives of actors or directors and stuff like that. I just want to see their work. Behind the scenes, they could be any kind of creepy weirdo. I don't want to know about it. The whole thing with Kevin Smith, it really takes the edge off when you're watching a movie with Kevin Smith in it because he's a brilliant... Kevin Spacey. Nearly got myself in a draw there. Kevin Spacey. Again, a fantastic actor, but I don't want to know about his private life. It's all horrible. Exactly. Talk about self-destruction. I think it's because these people think they can get away with anything. But in this world in which we live, of the whole social media and people with cameras pointing at you 24/7, you can't get away with it. Ask Philip Schofield. That's a joke there for our British people, readers. British people. That sounds racist. Righty-ho. Again, going to have to be very careful the way I word this. But there is a new movie coming out. I think it is actually called Sheroes. Girl Boss Assemble. I don't think it's Girl Boss Assembled, but let me just again find the article just to remind myself. Why does that keep disappearing? Right. She Rose. I don't think it's actually called She Boss. It's by the director of Spring Breakers, which was all right, which was pretty decent. But this movie, just to describe it for you, is a bunch of cast, all women, starring the ultimate adrenaline-fueled thrill ride from the producer of Spring Breakers. When 4 thick-as-thieves friends arrive in Thailand for a hedonistic adventure, they quickly find themselves in over their heads when one of them is kidnapped by a notorious drug lord. As they fight to stay alive and protect each other, they'll employ their unique set of skills to unleash their fierce loyalty in this heart-pumping battle for survival. I'm sorry, but that kind of sounds like every other film that's going out around here at the moment. Somebody said that the poster is very much like the Charlie's Angels poster from Elizabeth Banks. I think it was Emily Blunt recently who said any script that she reads, if it starts off by saying, how wonderfully centric girls are and everything else, she just immediately throws it out because she's not interested in this. A lot of people are the same. And yet here we are having another girl-centric girls being great, girls being awesome, girls being better than men movie that's really going to smash the box office and blow everything out of the water. When will Hollywood learn? Okay, just tell a good story. That's all you need to do. Tell a good story. We've had wonderful female heroes in the past. Okay, we've had Sarah Connor, we've had Ellen Ripley, we've had even Lara Croft. Fantastically wonderful female-centric characters that we love dearly. But now it is just about churning out stuff so that blue-haired people, again, being careful, I'm not even going to say women, because what is a woman? Yeah, it's that again. Thank you, Big Gator. Yeah, in over their heads perfectly describes Hollywood right now. They think that they know what the audience want, but they haven't got a clue. They're appealing to that small minority on social media who are whining and crying and bitching and moaning about everything. And look where it's getting them. They are hemorrhaging money. No, that's not the right word. Is that the right word? But they are losing so much money. Disney has just lost 7,000 jobs. They reckon in the last quarter they've lost something like $200 million. I run a small business. If I lost $200 million, I would be hanging from a rope by now. But somehow Disney just carries on. What a world we live in. It's a good job I picked topics, the stuff that I wrote up this week. Otherwise, I'd be all over the place. Yeah, exactly. There we go. Like I say, we've had great female characters in the past that we've known and loved, but yet Hollywood's got to force it down our throats. So, Skull Island is getting an animated series for Netflix. Now, I'm going to say something a little controversial here. I thought Kong, Skull Island, was dull as dishwater because it's got to be a story. And usually with a story, it's about the personalities of the people involved in the story. When the story is just about big, giant creatures fighting each other and humans getting in the way, I have seen Kong Skull Island, but I couldn't tell you a thing about it now. And so doing an animated series of it, again, I'm just one of those people that I still enjoy cartoons. I did watch the other day, Your Name, which was by, it's not Studio Ghibli, but it's one of those kind of Asian animation studios. Fantastic. So I do love animation, things like Akira and stuff like that. I do love animation. But when you're doing like a series, especially based on Kong, who is, again, King Kong was too long, the movie, the new one by Peter Jackson. The last one of Kong versus Godzilla, or whichever way, whatever it was called, again, it was 2 hours of people literally running around and two monsters just fighting each other. It was, I was not impressed. And so doing an animated series, I don't know, what animated series? I mean, why not? Yeah, it's something to turn out, isn't it? You know, we're running out of ideas. What about Kong? Kong doing, an animated series. I don't know where you guys are, but in Britain we've got a character called Alan Partridge, and there's a bit where he's presenting ideas to the BBC, and he's saying things like, knowing ME, knowing you, I talk to people who are suffering with ME. No, that's not a good idea. I catch my Netflix go. No, I imagine you're not. But yeah, Alan's sort of going, how about a partridge amongst the pigeons? Or what's that? Well, it's just me amongst some pigeons. No, it's not a good idea. Monkey tennis? And he runs out of ideas. And again, it's, there we go, look. Tubi is a great streaming service. I kind of want to say another one, but I'm not going to because it might get us into trouble. But there are other services, other service providers available as well. That's enough of that. Oh, look, we've got somebody else new on the comments. Hello to Big Mike, the Saltless Flow. How do you say your name? Kilikaku? Counting? I'm terrible at I'm dyslexic, so it really doesn't help. Me and my dad once made a video, and the main contributing guy on it was called Brian Thompson. And I sent, this was back on the days when we recorded the video, we sent out 200 videos where it said Brain Thompson, because I didn't know how to spell. But anyway, thanks for you to join us. Oh, I got pretty close, apparently. Why is there a delay in that? That's coming up quicker than that one. Hang on. Wait for it. There we go. You got pretty close. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us on this live stream with just me. In the let's ruin everything we love and flog that dead horse still, apparently James Cameron is working on a new Terminator movie, which will be a reboot. Arnie has said recently he's not going to return as the Terminator. It depends what work Linda Harrison? No, Linda Harrison was Nova from Planet of the Apes. Linda Hamilton. Is that right? Whoever played Sarah Connor in the original, she's not going to be doing anymore. So, yeah, but he still wants to carry on flogging that dead horse. That's a good idea, Big Gator. I'm just going to call you Casey. But yeah, again, The Terminator, outstanding movie. You know, it's far from a perfect movie, but it was such an interesting film and a classic 80s film. Terminator 2, I'm going to go out and say on a leg here, I know some people don't agree with me, it's almost cinema perfection. The film is fantastic. You've got the good theme about, the mother, the father thing and all this kind of thing, and how John needs parents. And it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And then Terminator 3 came out, which was just sort of, they tried to do the woman thing and it didn't work. It's the one with Nikki Stahl and Claire Danes in it, even if you can remember it. Then they had Genesis. No. Then they had, not Genesis, the one with Christian Bale. The only thing I can remember about the Christian Bale one is him having a paddy at the sound guy. Do you remember that? And he's like, "Oh, me and you are done, mate. We are done. You are so unprofessional." That's all I can remember about that film. And it had Moon Blood Gold in it. But then you had Genesis, and then you had, what was the last one? Dark Fate. Hamilton. Thank you very much, Linda Hamilton. Dark Fate, which was just, again, they lent into the whole theme. The main Terminator bad guy, who was he? Can you remember him? When you think Salvation, thank you, that was it. Salvation, yeah, I'm just going to put up Gator's comment there. Salvation wasn't that bad. As I remember, I actually remember quite enjoying it. But again, it was dragging things out, and it just didn't need to do it, unfortunately. Like I say, it's the flogging a dead horse thing. And then Dark Fate, like I say, when you had the original Terminator, it kind of put Arnie on the map. It was Arnie. That was one bad dude. I'll be back and everything else. Brilliant. Who was the bad guy in Dark Fate? It was a Mexican fella. Again, completely forgettable, completely understated. Women had to be better and everything else. I have seen Dark Fate, and again, I couldn't tell you anything about it, apart from Arnie being old. Couldn't tell you a thing about it. But obviously Cameron doesn't think of it that way. But then Cameron has got that Midas touch. Although people are saying Avatar and Avatar 2 have apparently got the highest viewing figures of all time and the biggest box office draw and everything else. But you know what? I barely know anybody who's seen it. And so I keep thinking to myself, a lot of people have been saying the same. It's like, hang on, who is watching Avatar? Because doesn't seem to be that many people who are watching it. So whether those numbers are a little bit fiddled with for tax reasons or whatever it might be. But there we go. Just going to call this up. The Terminator series went wrong where they kept using the same time travel plot item when they should have simply followed the original timeline and depicted the development of Skynet and how it went crazy. See, it's so weird how, no offense to you, Casey, but some random guy off the internet understands the lore of Terminator better than Hollywood writers. Yeah, see, you didn't. I started watching Avatar when it came out on streaming, and honestly, I gave it about an hour to when they met the water people, and there's no story there. No story there at all. And I was bored. And I have said that on social media, and I have had my head bitten off about it. Especially saying, oh, look at you, little Star Wars fan. It's only looking at the pretty pictures and stuff. And I'm thinking, yeah, but at least Star Wars had some kind of interest. I just must mention, I nearly got into an argument. I don't argue with people on the internet because it's pointless. But I nearly got into an argument with somebody about the Return of the Jedi coming back to the cinemas. And I said I didn't want to see it because it was the special editions. You've got Vader shouting, no, no, as he throws the Emperor off, which kills the scene for me. But also you've got young Anakin, for some reason, stood with Yoda and I can imagine Obi-Wan as Alec Guinness going, seriously, why are you 25? What's that about? Anyway, but yeah, this guy said he liked the special editions. And I said, oh, you're okay with Han shooting first? And he said, yeah, I prefer it. Greedo shooting first. Yep, there's people out there who actually think that Greedo shooting first was a good addition to Star Wars. I will check that out. I do like Red Letter Media, so I will definitely have a look at that. Thank you very much, Big Gator. This is quite a funny one. So, in July, I think it's the end of July, 27th, I think it is, you have 2 movies to go and see at the cinema. Oppenheimer and Barbie. You could not get more 2 ends of the evolutionary scale than those 2 films. Oppenheimer is going to be a very deep and psychological journey into one man's, desire to make a weapon that, could literally end the world. And Barbie has a bunch of beautiful people on a beach saying, I'm going to beat you off. I mean, what made me laugh is I liked it when Gene Rowley said, I could not have a bold Captain Kirk. And how did that work out? But yeah, I mean, what are you guys going to go and see? Are you going to go and see Oppenheimer? Or are you going to go and see Barbie? I kind of want to see Barbie. I think Sean Thompson, one of our regulars on the website, said he wants to see it ironically. And I kind of want to see it in that way because it's like Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling does performances like Blade Runner and, Drive. Oh, was it Drive or Driven? Drive. I watched it the other day as well. But yeah, he does these very sort of deep and meaningful movies. And then he's going to go and play opposite Margot Robbie as Barbie, as Ken. And it's just kind of, I want to see it just for that because it looks good. Oppenheimer, I've got to admit, Christopher Nolan's last movie, Tenet, I watched it in the cinema, didn't really like it, tried to watch it again on streaming and couldn't get through it. And it was too overly complex for its own good. Gator said there, I'm worried about Barbie. The full trailer had some troublesome things in there. It's funny because I haven't seen the second trailer yet, the full trailer. But I don't know, like I say, to me, it just looks awful. And I do like my B movies and I do like awful things. So, it might be quite good. Like I say, it might be quite good. If you hate Barbie, you'll love this movie shocked me. Really? That is a strange thing to say. If you hate Barbie, you'll love this movie. So if you love Barbie, you'll hate this movie? Not very clever. It's going to be interesting at the end of July to see which movie comes out on top. Like I say, it did make me laugh of having like 2 separate couples, and one have gone to see Barbie and absolutely love it. One have gone to see I'm Oppenheimer and absolutely love it. Then meeting afterwards for a drink. Yes, well, Oppenheimer was very deep. Oh, Barbie was great though. She had a flying car. It was great. I just want to be there, listen to that conversation. It would be quite funny. I am rushing through things a little this evening, like I say, because I'm not going to be terribly, terribly long. But I put a review up of John Wick 4 on the site. I'm not going to spoil. I actually thought John Wick 4 was excellent. It was really good. It was much better than I thought it was going to be. I do feel that John Wick should have been a perfect trilogy. I think 2 and 3 could have amalgamated into each other. And if you'd have had like John Wick 1 and then John Wick 2 and 3 and then John Wick 4, then again you'd have had a perfect trilogy. 4 was really well done. It was excellent. Right, are we going back to maybe they should do a Liesman movie based on Heinlein? That's where Ender's Game. See, I haven't seen Ender's Game for a long time. Oh, okay. Again, this one. Maybe they should. It's probably in the works somewhere. Yeah. So John Wick 4, I thought was excellent. Very, very well done. There was some of the photography was excellent. Some of the fighting was brilliant. It was really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Oh, Big Gate, you disagreed there. I don't know. You thought it underperformed. For me, the car chase around the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. There's a shot where the car's spinning around, John shooting, and the camera. Sorry, that was fantastic. The overhead shot, looking down in the apartment block again. Oh, it was fantastic. It was too long, far too long. I've only got a very short attention span. Anything over 90 minutes. But no, I thought it was good. But if you have seen the end of John Wick 4, and I'm not spoiling too much. Oh, I see. Sorry. At the box office, not the actual movie. I thought it did quite well. Like I said, I haven't seen the figures, but I always thought it did quite well. But they are already working on John Wick 5. Now, if you've seen John Wick 4, like at the end of John Wick 3, he should be dead. But that doesn't mean in this cinemas, it is kind of one of those things. I think, as I said in my review, they've now got Kevlar suits. So they all wear nice suits and shirt and tie and everything else. But all the suits are bulletproof. And it was kind of like, you know, it's becoming a bit of an old trope now, how John Wick gets 50 bullets fired at him and they all go off and then he shoots twice and they're gone. And, you know, again, it's one of these things, just don't flog a dead horse. If you've got a great trilogy of movies, keep them as a great trilogy of movies. It's fine to do that. You don't have to drag them out just for the sake of it. I don't know if you mean that ironically. They are good for them. I mean, like I say, that the series, I've enjoyed the series. I thought John Wick has been very good, very a decent series of movies. Like I say, I could quite happily watch all of them again, you know, quite happily. But it's just kind of it's Indiana Jones is a perfect trilogy. I say a perfect trilogy. We're going to come on to that later. But I mean, it's a great set of movies. Love the first one. The second one I know is usually people's favourites, but it didn't really sort of do anything for me. But I really loved Last Crusade. I thought it was great. Then Crystal Skull. I think I've seen that movie twice because it was once on TV. But I mean, it's not a film I'm going to return to. And then they've dragged it out again now with 5, which I still think they're going to be reshooting and re-editing before we see it in July. Anyway. But yes, as I say, John Wick 5 might be happening. Okie doke. Like I said I was going to keep it short and sweet. Unpopular movie opinions. Now, this was quite an interesting one because, like I say, why is that gone again? Sorry, right, I'm on the website and it should have the main header on the top, and it's not. I bet Eggie's turned that off. Right, hang on, because I'm just trying to get back to the main page so that I can read out some of your lovely comments that you've been putting on here. In the confessional booth, the question was, oh, it's Gal Gadot in her underwear. Sorry. If you've not seen the website, it's worth looking at that. What is your unpopular movie opinion? So I'm going to try and keep an eye on the chat in here as well, but I'm going to read. We know. I'm not looking forward to it. It's got Kathleen Kennedy all over it, so yeah. I haven't seen any positive expressions regarding Indiana Jones 5. I've got a friend who loves Indy, and he contacted me a little while ago. He said, I'm up for Indy 5 for us to see it together. And I was like, I don't want to. And we got into a conversation, and I told him about Kathleen Kennedy and blah, 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 everything else. And the conversation ended with, when did you get so angry? Since Kathleen Kennedy has been in charge of Lucasfilm. That's how long. Okie doke. Right. So, unpopular opinions. Oh, I see. I can't go as far as saying that. I think Old Country for Old Men is it's not a perfect film. It's got a weird ending. I do remember it's got a weird ending. It kind of, for me, it kind of fizzles out at the end. But Javier Bardem, apparently, hang on, I've got these stupid thingies. There we go, it's better. Apparently, Javier Bardem, psychiatrists have said his portrayal of a psychopath is the closest thing they've ever seen in the movie. So, you know, he was very good at it. I mean, it was a weird way of killing people with the gas tank and the bolt thing. But that is controversial, Gazer. Ooh. Right, I'm going to read out some of the stuff that we've had on the website. I'm just going to go from the top with the most popular ones and so forth. Temple of Doom is unjustly maligned film, and The Last Crusade tricks you with syrup and schmaltz into thinking it's better than it is. According to Bourgeoisie Scum, who is one of our contributors on the one of our outposters, has said, using the scale from 1 to 100, Raiders is 95%, Temple of Doom is 98%, The Last Crusade is 70%, and then Crystal Skull is 19%. I mean, Crystal Skull, I still think you're being generous. I don't know. I put Last Crusade, in my opinion, just above Temple of Doom because I really liked Last Crusade. It was good. Do you know what? Casey, I'm not going to bring up your comments about Kennedy because I'm just going to get on my soapbox, and I've had a nice calm day and I don't want to get my blood pressure up. But I do agree with what you're saying. This is Unpopular. Last Crusade. I wouldn't say it's the best one. Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark is perfection of a movie. As I would always say, masterclass. But it is. When you watch the way the music's done, the photography, the acting, the way the scene that always gets me is when Indy walks out of the pub and then Marion's pub, and then he comes back in and you just get his eye, and it's just so. I can't agree with that. Raiders is the best one. Doom is not so good, and then Last Crusade. We're gonna have to see what 5 is like. Wow. God, there's loads of comments on that. I'm not going to go through all this. Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. I'm just going to pick out the main topics. God, dear, there was loads of comments on this one. I do like it when we all get into good old conversations like this. Hang on a minute. Hey, hang on a minute. Is it all moved? God, dear, how many comments are on here? You people getting into like little chats with each other. Oh, hang on. Hang on. What we're going to do is it's all changed. Everything's changed. Right, there we go. Okay, right now. So now we're back onto the main topic. Sorry, no, I got a bit lost there. The buzz surrounding Timothée Chalamet was ignited and is still fueled by an assorted bunch of lobbyists, lobbies with people with their agenda. I don't get Timothée Chalamet either. He's one of those people that's just very odd. And I say he is good. I did try to watch one of his recent ones, and it was with the girl who was the vampire, and it had Mark Rylance in it. Bones, Flesh and Bone, I think it was. And I couldn't get through it. He was he's just a very flat person. And he was good, I think, as Paul Atreides. I am looking forward to Dune 2 because, you know, I think Dune was very good. But it's just, again, it's very, it's very strange why he's there. Maybe he is just there being as other people's agendas. Okay, this is controversial. I'm not going to swear because even though the others do, I don't have a potty mouth. Goonies is a hot pile of horse poop. This cost me from being banned from a film club. The owner of that club had a girlfriend whose favourite film was Donna's Abomination. F girls' taste in movies. I'm sorry. See, I don't think that's true. I've always enjoyed Goonies. I think it's an entertaining film. I have watched it many, many times. I could probably do it word perfect, I would have thought. And it's what the thing that always annoyed me about Goonies, and this sounds ridiculous, and I know this is going to be stupid, but because apparently the owner's girlfriend loved Goonies, and you can't say anything bad about that because that's what happens in this day and age. You say something unpopular, you get cancelled. That's the way it works. That's why I was being very careful over The Colour Purple. But yeah, so no, Goonies. I like Goonies. It's got a good score. Richard Donner's story, Richard Donner's direction is quite good. You got a great cast. Like I said, the thing that annoyed me about it is I never had an adventure that good with my mates. Goonies was me, and this is really weird. Where I grew up, me and my mates used to play in an old lime quarry, which is unbelievably dangerous. And the things that we used to do is, one day my mate found a big roll of blue rope. So we nicked it, obviously, because that's what you do. We made a death slide out of it, but we didn't realise it was made of plastic, the rope. So we had it about 20 metres. It's huge. We put this rope over it, and my mate went down it, and as it went down, it just melted, and he landed on the ground and broke his leg. Happy days. But I mean, I just never had an adventure as good as the Goonies. So no, see, the Goonies was me. I was a Goonie growing up. And I had a fat kid that I used to make him do the truffle shuffle. It's overrated, blah, 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 yada, yada. Oh, yeah, God, these conversations have gone. 284 comments. I'm not reading all that. Sorry, I'm going to flick there. I can see that's... Oh, this is being slow today. Come on, you computer. There we go. I actually love the original Colour Purple. Those things happened and might still be happening. I need to revisit it. I haven't seen it for many, many years, so I do need to revisit it as one of Stephen King's. And then watch the musical so I can sing about how great Abuse is. Right, back to the comments. I enjoy Michael Bay's particular brand of schlock. Somebody mentioned The Rock on there, and I will give The Rock credit because it is good fun, but I find Michael Bay is a bit too over the top. I'm not a huge fan of his stuff, Transformers, stuff like that. I'm not a huge fan. Michael Bay's best movie is Mystery Men, and if you understand that joke, and if you don't, look it up, because he was terrible in it. Our next one here from The Closet Nerd. I don't think American Pie or The Hangovers are funny. The first American Pie was kind of all right, but again, they just kind of swanned off into sort of, again, flogging a dead horse territory. The Hangovers, I did watch the original. I watched the trilogy. I can't even remember if there's 4 now, but I watched the trilogy the other day, and the first one is quite funny. But again, then they start going into the flogging dead horse thingy. I think I did like 3 because it had Jamie Chung in it, and I do find her rather attractive. But that's not a strong enough reason to actually like the movie. Thank you, Gator. Yes, Mystery Men is an underrated masterpiece. It is. I genuinely would put it in one of my top, say, 20, 30 movies. Mystery Men is brilliant. The sense of humour, I love. The cast is brilliant. I genuinely love Mystery Men. It's a very good movie, but it does star Michael Bay as the leader of the frat boys. Cast as Michael Bay for some strange reason, but no, I genuinely love the Mystery Men. It's really good soundtrack, really good soundtrack on that, and it's got some great moments. The only downside of Mystery Men, the thing I don't like, is Eddie Izzard because he's terrible. The third one was good, but less comically funny and a lot darker in many ways. I dislike the first 2 though. Okay. Hello, Acid Twin. Thank you for joining us. I don't know. Like I say, I thought the first one was pretty good, but then they just started, like I say, flogging the dead horse. I can't remember much about the third one apart from Jamie Chung was in it because I'm a dirty little pervert. But no, the first one was Mike Tyson, wasn't it? And he got the tattoo. I can't remember now. They all kind of amalgamate into one of those things, don't they? Casey says, I don't like Terror on the Prairie. I didn't like Terror on the Prairie, Gina Carano. Taking an action star and making her a frail woman, they missed a golden opportunity to exploit her hand-to-hand combat skills and self-defense. That's a good point. I did watch Terror on the Prairie, and it was all right, but at the same time, it was quite just toned down. And again, you know, she's known as a fighter, that they should have let her do that. So yeah, I don't think that's an unpopular opinion, but you know. Hey, look, Sean's here. Hang on a minute. Let me get Sean in here a second. Where are we? Invite. Talk amongst yourselves. Da, 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 da. Ha, 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 ha. There we go. Let's get Sean in here and say hello. Don't worry, I haven't frozen. I was just waiting for him to join in and just making sure I'm up to date with everything else. Oh, we got another comment coming in. Well, Sean's sort of off topic and maybe more suitable for the end of the stream if you feel to ignore this. Will you be putting up all past reviews in the review section of the new site? We will be trying to. The database that we lost, unfortunately, I mean, we lost everything. It was horrible. I mean, there's reviews on there that I would like to have referred back to, like I did a review of Cinema Paradiso, which is my favourite movie. So, as I understand it, Yoda's been on holiday, but as I understand it, Yoda does have a backup, and we are looking to restore it. If not, if you make any requests on the site or email us and say, you know, do a new review of, we did think it was a good chance to. I don't want to say clear out any old rubbish because that's not the way. Not the way to put it, but we did think to ourselves, this is a good chance to start from scratch, start from new. So like if there are reviews that we've done in the past but you want us to redo, then yeah, fine, let us know. Like I say, send us an email, say on discuss, it'll be great. Excuse me. American Pie Trilogy was perfect. Hollywood doesn't know when to stop them. However, they did stop the Hangover Trilogy. I remember the third one not being all that great. Because American Pie, they there's like 6 or 7 of them now, isn't there? Like Bandcamp, and isn't there one called Naked Mile or something or other? Again, like I say, Hollywood never does know when to stop, do they? Let's see, get rid of that one. So, I think 2001: A Space Odyssey is massively pretentious. I do like 2001. I am a Kubrickian word. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Stanley Kubrick. I love his work. I think he's great. I still don't quite get the end of 2001 though. It is very well explained actually in a movie called 25. I think it's 5/25/77, which was the story about a kid going to see Star Wars. It was by Patrick Reed Johnson, who made can't remember his name now. I can't remember what he did now. I do remember this is really random, but he made Baby's Day Out, which I still think is quite amusing. Anyway, let's get Sean in here. Hey, buddy.
Can you hear me okay? Just all right.
Yeah. No, that one's not working. As per.
How about now?
There we go. That's got you sorted out, mate. How you doing?
Pretty good, buddy. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm good. I was actually kind of, like I say, just enjoying doing this on my own.
Oh, well, I can leave if you want.
No. It's just nice not being interrupted by Yoda. It should be restorable. I have a lot of WordPress experience. You could use my battle machines. I'll copy reviews. It would be a shame to lose people's work.
So I got some I got some exciting news coming up for this week for the live stream, a nighttime live stream this Thursday night.
Hang on. I'm just gonna go through some of the. I'll tell you what I'll do. Look, I'm just gonna go through some of the comments here. I hear that the hyper. Right. So first of all, Acid Twin has just said about the backing up of WordPress. Yes, we thought we had a backup of it, but unfortunately that got corrupted.
That's why nobody pays any of us to think.
Look, we're putting all the blame on Yoda because he's not here. It's fine. He'll never see this. But yeah, like I say, we are trying to do it. And it's nice to know. Do you know what? I actually take that as a compliment. It would be a shame to lose people's works. Plus, it's a great toilet reading. I take that as a compliment that people can sit there on the crapper going, "Oh, this review of so and so is quite good."
All of my articles are saved. I publish everything that I write. I also publish on my own website like a day or two later. So everything I've ever wrote for LMO, I've got saved on my own website.
Fair enough. That's what I should have done, but I didn't because I thought it was all backed up.
It was just a lucky break. I mean, if I wasn't like giving myself an easy, post for my own website, I would not have bothered to save them otherwise,
Yeah. Funny enough, I was doing that for a little while, but then I kind of just put a redirect from my website onto the Last Movie Outpost because it was just easier. I hear the Hyperons wasn't popular.
Hyperion, you retard.
I've already explained about the dyslexia thing. I thought it was pretty well done, personally. I haven't heard of that. Why haven't I heard of that? Is that an old thing or a new thing?
Wasn't that the Netflix thing a while ago, or am I thinking of something else? The Miller verse or something? Maybe I'm wrong on
that. Big Gator says, I can't understand the 2001 take. You have to read the book. 2010, the year we made contact, was the sequel. Now, we've got a video.
Wait a minute. 2010, the year we made contact, might not be technically a superior movie, but it's a lot more fun. It's a lot more entertaining, and it's a hell of a lot more understandable. I prefer I like 2010 a lot. I don't like 2001 at all. I think it's whatever.
Well, I was reading the comments from the Confession who said, I think it was Stark who said that 2001 is unbelievably pretentious.
Mm-hmm. I agreed with that.
We have video up of 2010 on our channel. If you have a look at it, like and subscribe and all that crap. And Yoda's take on it is very interesting, and it is. I don't know, because I do like 2001. It is a pretentious movie, and it is a very sort of like, oh yeah, I really like it type, type of thing.
It's the kind of it's the one movie that every film guy pretends that he loves. And, in reality, they never watch it. They watched it one time maybe, and then they're like, oh, I got to pretend.
2001. That's when Kirk became Picard, isn't it?
Yeah, I've watched Rob Ager have many videos about it, and I love listening to him talk about it and his take on it. I don't buy into a word of it, but it's very interesting, Now, listen. That said, I agree with Rob Ager's takes on just about everything else. Don't get me wrong, but on 2001, I think it's he's such a fan of Kubrick that I think he,
Yeah. I liked Baby's Day Out as a kid. The show. I watched it. Oh no, probably quite a few years ago now. But it's one of those movies. I like slapstick comedy. I can't help it.
Easy. Take it easy, Epstein.
No, it's not that the kind of thing. It's meant as a compliment. So our stuff is read on the toilet is a compliment. Thank you.
Where our work is in the shitter where it belongs.
It makes you go. Read the Last Movie Outpost. It makes you go.
Yeah.
KC has just said there they ruined Planet of the Apes, then remade. The remake was reasonable, even if it had flaws, but the sequels of the remakes are almost unwatchable.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I say the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which was the middle one, I think was brilliant. I love the fact. Wait a minute.
You mean the remake Dawn or the original?
The remake by Matt Reeves. Because that Dawn is where they have to try and get into the power station to get it all going, and then Cobra is the bag. I thought that was really well done. That's really well.
That's the one with Gary Oldman in it, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah. That was pretty good. That one was pretty good.
It was the third one I can't really remember much about. But the original Planet of the Apes, again, it's one of those film series that they just flogged out. They did 5 of them, I think it was.
I think
altogether.
I mean, it was very ballsy to them to make a movie about BLM and call it that too.
Okay. Right. Okay. Casey's just said here. Sorry, I was reading the comments.
Disavow. I disavow that comment.
The Hyperions was released by the Daily Wire and was not on wide release in theaters. Oh, now I want to see it. Now I want to watch it.
Oh, okay.
Now I want to watch it. And Acid Twin has just said that, jokes aside, it's great reading anywhere. Of course it is. It doesn't. You don't see the edits that they go through. When I write up some of the articles, I'm sure our editors think I'm a 5-year-old.
I just write it.
This movie was good.
I just write in stream of conscious and then save it in draft and hand it over, and then whatever it is when they're done with it, I have very little hand in that.
2001 wasn't popular for its ending. Even when it came out, everyone criticised the enigmatic ending. Everyone watched it for the Leslie Nielsen scene in the space liner with the flight attendant. It's like I say, the movie by Patrick Reed Johnson, which I'm sure was called 25/5/77. The kid in there explains the ending really, really well, and it's worth a watch just for that. If there was, funny enough, that biopic of him watching Star Wars came out around the same time as The Fabelmans, and as a biopic, 25/5/77 was way much better than The Fabelmans, I thought. Big Gator says, I boycotted Planet of the Apes remakes. The original franchise doesn't need a remake.
But he's not. But he did not disavow the Tim Burton remake, though.
That's what I was going to say. Everybody kind of forgets that exists.
Yeah, it's like that doesn't even. People don't even make a joke about that anymore.
Mark Wahlberg. You remember Mark Wahlberg was in it?
Yeah. No such thing.
What was a shame about that movie was the makeup in it was fantastic. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, spot on and stuff.
I know. Mark Wahlberg almost passed as a human being in that.
Yeah, playing against a bunch of monkeys. I boycotted all the remakes. I don't know, Big Gator. I'd give him a chance. I genuinely think the second one is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. The first one is a slow build. The second one is the third one. I need to watch again because I don't remember it.
There's nothing memorable about it. The third one's
we've got Heidi here as well. Hello, Heidi. Unpopular opinion. I don't hate the Marky Mark version of Planets. For the shame, Tim Roth was fantastic. Tim Roth was very good in it. I thought he was very good in it as well. But
that is an unpopular opinion. You're right about that. You should lean forward and choke yourself.
Okay, going through some of the comments on the website. Christopher Nolan peaked it with Memento.
I've never seen a Christopher Nolan movie that I liked.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Who needs Planet of the Apes when you can visit DC?
She means Detroit City.
One of those American places.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was it we were talking about? No, Memento was good. I will give him. See, it's funny because it's like I often think, and this is going to be a controversial opinion. When The Dark Knight came out, everybody raved about it, and everybody was completely and utterly, "Wow, this is amazing." The more I've watched it, the less I like it. And the last one, the whole Dark Knight Rises, the whole ending of him with Michael Caine in the cafe and everything else, I thought was just stupid. And so, maybe, did he peak with Memento? I'm just trying to think what else he did after that. Inception? You're not a fan of Inception, are you?
No, I don't like that kind of movie where nothing that you're watching happens, and even the reality of the movie itself. I don't like that kind of shit.
I'm just looking up his other stuff quickly. So, producer, director, just to remind myself, Tenet was crap. Dunkirk was kind of, it was too clever for its own good. If he was just telling a story, but it all had to kind of, end up at this like peak of whatever happened and everything else.
You know why I hated it? You know why I hated that movie?
Go on.
Too many limeys in it.
Well, yeah, that's because you guys were late to the war, as per. Interstellar, again, I think he's kind of an overrated movie.
It's very overrated. That's like his attempt at being as pretentious as Kubrick in 2001.
Yeah, no, that is very true. I have a soft spot for it because it's got Jessica in it. But yeah, that's about it. I know. Okay, so let's go back to some of the comments here. What else have we had? Blah, 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 blah.
Charlton Heston was in the original Planet of the Apes, and he made a cameo appearance as an ape in the Tim Burton version, where he even says a reversal of the line, and he says, like, "Get your hands off me, you damn dirty human," or something to that effect.
Yeah. Annoyingly, I kind of want to sit down and watch that again now.
Oh,
that
God, don't do that to yourself, man.
Issue from The Following is very good, though. Oh, okay, that's Nolan's The Following is one of his early films. Matt Inks is here. Look at this. Look. I would like to know discussion about the removal of the satisfaction of the IMDb votes. The top 1,000 voters have been removed. What?
The what?
Have they?
What is it?
I'm like to no discussion about the removal of the stratification of IMDb votes. The top 1,000 voters have been removed. Is that because people have been bombing stuff, review bombing stuff, like what's it called, Little Mermaid? People wouldn't do that, would they?
Cleopatra.
My favourite thing from that Cleopatra is the memes of the old woman going, "I don't care what they told you, Cleopatra was black." There are so many times when I just think, well, my mum, it's a bit like, what's it called, The Water Boy with Adam Sandler. Well, my mama says that electricity was invented by Ben Franklin, and he's the devil.
We should upload that Lord of the Rings parody song onto the
Nope.
Why not? There's nothing wrong with that.
Possibly. Interstellar, love fixes everything, blah.
Madding says we don't even know what is going on. We are out of touch. That's true. This proof of that. All the proof you need that we are out of touch is that every week these assholes come on here and talk about Star Wars every fucking week.
Speaking of Star Wars, right? So, thanks for reminding me, Sean.
Well, that's it for this week. See you in a month.
I hadn't heard the news, and like I say, but we have been keeping up with stuff and stuff like that. But no, I'm kind of intrigued by that now. I'm sure Stark will write up a story about it because Stark is amazing. That keeps up the thing. Yes, John Oason played one of the apes.
Why don't you just marry him if you think he's so great?
I would if I could. Oh.
if only my wife would just die or something.
if it wasn't for the restraining order, I'd be over there right now. Oh, there you go. The Prestige. Yeah, no, the Prestige was
you know what? I'll give you that.
That is a decent Nolan movie, yeah. Not just the top 1,000 voters. They're not bombing they are not banning the bombing voters. Oh, right. Okay. So they're just people who have been working hard to build up like a reputation on the IMDb. They're just banning them.
Yeah. So anyway, let me tell you about this Thursday. Are you ready?
Right, okay. Hang on, because I got a banner for this.
Okay.
There we go. Okie doke. So, Sean, tell us what's happening this Thursday.
So this Thursday night, a little bit past 9:00 Eastern Standard Time, I will be joined by, and this isn't really even going to be my show. I'll be introducing it, and I'll be there. But Cecil from Good Bad Flicks, Peter Gajic, the Cinemasochist, and Josh Hadley from 1201 Beyond. They all had a podcast that ran like 10 years, 500 episodes, very popular. They had to quit it in 2020, but because I know them all and I really missed that podcast, they are going to do a reunion of that show, but they're going to do it with us on this channel Thursday night, probably once a month, and it's going to be called Retrodrome. And because the original podcast was Radiodrome, but you will get to see those three who have great chemistry, and we'll be talking about the kind of movies that me and you like. You know, not the normie shit.
Bad.
I'm sorry. I wish that you weren't.
No, you don't. That's what you did it for 9 o'clock. You did it on purpose.
No. I only because Cecil's schedule, and
that's fair enough.
So that's the only reason. I wish you could be there because it'd be great.
It would be interesting. It would be
Yeah.
interesting. I will try and make one at some point in time. Maybe we could record one so that we can put it out later, as opposed to maybe doing something live. Right, I'm going through all the chat here. God, dear, Maddox turns up and it all goes crazy. First of all, we don't suck. That is why you suck. We only suck a little bit.
Banned.
Well, yeah. No, well, I don't go for that. Right, we're going to have to look into that. Has Phil been to the US? This is Heidi asking now. Has Phil been to the US or Sean to the UK or both or neither?
Yeah,
I've been to the US.
He came over here when we got married, and then I flew back over there to meet his parents, my new in-laws.
Me love you long time. Me love you long time.
We've both been to Bangkok. That's where we met.
Yeah.
We met.
Yeah.
We actually bumped into each other for the first time in a Thai ladyboy whorehouse, and that's how we got talking, because we were both waiting on the same Thai ladyboy hooker.
That's not what happened, Sean, but I'm not going to go into the story of what actually happened about how we met there. But let's just say we were both uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I've been to America. I've been to both coasts. I went to Florida because my in-laws were living out there at the time. And then I actually won a holiday to LA where I was supposed to have a walk-on part, and it never happened. But I did have a limo tour of Beverly Hills and a VIP trip to Universal, and we had a limo tour. Yeah, like I said, Beverly Hills, and we were also supposed to go to some posh restaurant, but I didn't end up going. But I did meet Abraham Ben Ruby. Who's
that?
Plays Jerry in ER. Big tall dude. You knew him if you saw him. Oh. But it was a free holiday. Right, Mannix is still going on about thingy. Blah 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 blah.
Shut up about it already, man. We don't care.
We'll have a look.
Yeah.
Okay.
I promise that we'll get right on that just as soon as the holiday weekend's over.
You guys being gay is fine. Yeah, we know. We've got nothing against.
It's 2023. Of course, we know it's fine.
Casey just said that The Prestige watchable. It is. It is watchable. It's one of those films as well that the more you watch it, the more you understand the subtle nuance of kind of what's going on in there as well, and everything else.
I tell you, one of the unpopular opinions in the comments I saw was about Blade Runner being, not dull or something. And I said that, and I stand by it, and I say this not as a joke, but I don't know anybody that watches the original Blade Runner for like the excitement or the story. I watch, and me personally, I watch it for the aesthetic, the ambiance, you know what I mean? The effect. Like, I don't care about this. It is a dull story. But man, it looks great, don't it? The soundtrack.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Going through, I can't keep up with all this chat. Yes, please have a look. I believe you. I'm going to England.
Why is chat so active? Why is chat so active today?
It's been really boring for the first hour when I've been here on my own. Thank you, everybody. Apart from Big Gayer. I'm going to be in England in a week or so. What part of England are you going to, Casey?
The part with all the obnoxious limeys.
Sean, look at this, look. Sean is stupid as fuck. But he is right about Blade Runner.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then, even a broken clock's right twice a tight.
My mom would agree with that.
Going back to some of the comments on the thing. Oh, because we're going back to that now. Oh, this is really going to mess up my editing when I come to do this now. Right, hang on. Banners.
Editing what?
This to put it up as clips.
Oh.
Dodgeball isn't very funny. I disagree with that. I think it's very funny.
You know what? It was funny in its day, but
I still like it.
The funny thing about it is that, no, I'm not saying I dislike it, but that period of time when that came out, that like 5 or 6 year window, there was some really pretty decent comedies coming out of Hollywood. Now, but then woke stuff took over, I guess, and nothing funny has come out since like 2014 or something.
What I always liked about Dodgeball was how everybody in it is actually quite normal, apart from Ben Stiller's character, who is completely and utterly over the top.
I don't think.
I don't know why.
I don't think the guy that thinks he's a pirate is normal in it.
I'm sure there's people out there who think they're a pirate.
I know a guy that thinks he's Mario.
Yes, this is true. I've seen the evidence. Dennis Villeneuve's Dune doesn't hold a candle to David Lynch's.
That's, what, there's...
Do you know, there's an argument either side of that.
Yeah, that's... like part of me says you're right that the David Lynch's Dune is more like what we're accustomed to, flashy colors and sex appeal. But Denis Villeneuve's Dune is like a masterpiece, though. I'm sorry, it might be a boring masterpiece. It might be boring to a lot of people, but it's still.
That's again, it's one of those movies that you don't sort of sit down to be entertained by. You sit down to watch a piece of artwork.
Yeah,
and so
both of us just sounded very pretentious, but it's still true, though.
Star Trek 3: The Search for Spock is the very best thing of all Star Trek.
I agree with that.
The third one or the second one? He's saying the third one.
The third one, the one where they go and get it, where he's been revived on that planet because of the what is it, the Genesis project or whatever.
Yeah,
I agree. I think that's the most I like. It's my, is it the best one? Like technically, or I don't know. It's the one that I have the most fun watching. That's all I know.
Yeah. Casey says I'll be around a place called London or thereabouts. Yes, I've heard of London as well.
How it? Where? What's it called?
London. If you're up there and if you want to fit in, Casey, just call it London. All right. Yeah, mate, I'm going down London, ain't I?
Did they really say it like that?
Oh yeah, proper London geese all talk like that. Yeah. Yeah, all right, mate.
Talk like you're in a Guy Ritchie movie.
This is like talking like in a Guy Ritchie movie. I actually sound a little bit like Hugh Grant in Operation Fortune.
You do. You got it nailed perfectly. I don't know why.
That's because English people can do Hugh Grant.
I really like him in that and the Gentleman. Like he was my favorite part of both of those movies. And I used to say like he's never made a movie I would ever care about. Yeah. He's really found his place as this like slimy, kind of.
Yes. So, Lord of the Rings extended versions are too long. But they are quite a good gripping story.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, they're pretty good. I don't know. I mean, that's a big story with a lot of, weight. It needs a lot of breathing room, I think. Now, are they too long to set through in a theater? Probably.
Oh, yeah.
But a home video viewing, no, I don't think I think the extended version is the one to watch,
I still like Star Trek 4 and First Contact. I actually quite like First Contact. I think it's decent.
What is Star Trek 4? Which one is that?
That's the whales where they come back to they go back in time to save the whales.
I don't like that one, but I do like the last of the original cast movie, The Undiscovered Country.
Yeah. That was kind of back to the roots of Star Trek, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Unpopular one for you, A's, an unpopular one for you. I will never watch any Johnny Depp pirate movies, and I never will. Well, he never has and never will. It's hard to imagine anything more silly or ridiculous. However it got made mystifies me. It is weird because I watched a documentary the other day on Hans Zimmer, and they were talking about obviously all the movies he's made and stuff, and it came up with pirates, and I thought, I haven't seen pirates for ages. So I actually watched Pirates of the Caribbean, the Curse of the Black Pearl, yesterday.
It's pronounced Caribbean.
Caribbean.
No, it's pirates. It's Caribbean.
I'm not listening to how an American pronounces English words. But
Caribbean is the most English of English words.
Yeah, can it be unmade? No, genuinely though, JC, I would say The Curse of the Black Pearl, the first one, is a great movie. It's a really well told story. I was watching it and thinking how well the story was crafted and how it pans out, and it is really good. The others, I am probably going to watch them because there's just nothing new to watch at the moment. But no, like I say, I would say that the first one is definitely worth a watch.
It is pretty good. It's pretty good, and it's amazing considering it's based on a fucking roller coaster ride at a theme park or something.
All English people do Hugh Grant, obviously. It's very, very easy to do Hugh Grant because that's what Hugh Grant does all the time. He was in the D&D movie. Which was actually quite good.
What is
the
it?
D&D movie.
Who was
the Dungeons and Dragons.
Who was in D&D movie?
Hugh Grant.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was like, I don't want to say the main bad guy, but he was like a con man who was in with a group and stuff, and he did it quite well.
Was he a dungeon master?
No, there was nothing like.
Let me go get my 20-sided dice and we'll roll to see. I don't think that's in the rule books.
I'm just trying to look through some of these other comments now. There's 283 comments in this thing. Tarantino hasn't done anything legit since Jackie Brown. I've never seen Jackie Brown.
It's all right.
Never been able to get through it. But I do think Tarantino is overrated. His last one, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Very overrated.
Here's a controversial one. I really like Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and Snyder's Justice League.
Let me guess who left that comment.
No, it wasn't. I know
Really?
you think it was, but it wasn't.
Wow.
No, Man of Steel is just bad. There's too many plot holes in it. It's just
And
bad.
you know what? And all that aside, it's boring. It's just boring, man.
It's good job Maggie's not here.
Yeah.
Jackie Brown, a solid 9 out of 10.
No, it's not that good.
I'll have to put it on. Like I say, I've always found Tarantino a little overrated with his movies. I'll give him Pulp, and I'll give him, because I watched Pulp recently, and Reservoir Dogs, but the others have just sort of.
Kill Bill Volume 1 is my favorite movie he's done.
Oh, fair enough.
Just because it's so over the top, stupid, like hyper reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm just trying to find some other decent comments here.
Oh my God, Mad Inc. is still going on about the top 1,000. Nobody cares but you, bro.
The top 1,000 is gone now. Oh no! Whatever shall we do? And yet the world keeps on spinning.
Let me just check real quick. Yep, sun's still out. Wait a minute. Yep, my penis is still there. Everything. I don't see a problem. What's the big deal?
Again, somebody else is saying No Country for Old Men, not very good.
Oh, now that's a dog shit take right there. That's a fucking masterpiece movie. Anybody that says otherwise their whole family should be murdered, probably.
Oh, again, somebody else here saying that the first thing that comes to mind of overrated movies is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Sorry, Ferris is brilliant.
It's a little overrated. It's a little, maybe not over. It's a little overhyped, I guess. I don't know, man.
I genuinely love Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Again, it's one of those films that I could watch almost word perfect because I love it. The whole story, the way it plays out, everything.
The best part of the movie is his girlfriend.
Mia Sarah, yeah. Oh no, like I say, I like Ferris Bueller. There you go. Blade Runner is boring and not actually very good.
Yeah,
down to the dregs of the comments now.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, you don't watch it for how fun it is. You watch it for the aesthetic and the ambiance. It can anybody, even the worst critic of Blade Runner has to admit that it's still amazing looking and sounding. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. Like I say, it's one of those films that the atmosphere encapsulates you, and like you say, maybe the story isn't all that strong, but that the atmosphere of the film just completely soaks you up. It's brilliant.
It's just brilliant. It's just like the original Alien movie, right? Like it's just a slasher movie in space, but man, it looks great. It looks amazing. It it has a feel, but really the story is nothing that you've never seen before already a bunch of times. Yeah,
Mannix, I'm reading from the website.
Robert Forster was really good in Jackie Brown. Listen, Jackie Brown is a good movie. It is a solid movie because Tarantino didn't write it, for one thing. That's what's his name there? Oh, God. Anyway, it was based on a novel, I think, called something like Rum Punch or something. But, yeah, it's a pretty good movie. I don't hate it. I'll watch it. If it's on, I'll watch it. But it's not... I tell you what it is. It's sort of a black exploitation film. That's really what it is. It's like Tarantino's updated take on a black exploitation film, done better than most of the black exploitation films from the actual period. Who do you, Big Gator? Who do you want in timeout? Mad Inc. I agree. He's spamming the chat. No, I'm the mod.
Oh, guys, come on! Don't argue for crying out loud. There's most important things than this to worry about.
No,
right. Speaking of exploitation movies,
the top 1,000 are gone. Feel it's more important than Live or Death.
Speaking of exploitation movies, just to put this up, have you seen Sisu?
No, because you recommended it, and I refuse to watch anything that you recommend. No, I honestly don't. No, I just haven't found a place to. You had to send me a link to watch it.
It's available on all major streaming services.
Yes, I'm aware of that, but I know that you have a major a perfectly legal streaming service that we all prefer to use the most, and
you genuinely have to watch it because it is a modern day explanation movie, and to me it's kind of like John Wick, but there's loads of Nazis that die.
Oh, I don't. What more? Why would you do? I don't understand. Why did the good guys lose?
I did in my review of Biggles that I did. I said that there's a bit in there where there's some 80s music played over this bit where all these Germans are getting shot, and I said, well, to be fair, the Germans were the bad guys, and I cut to a comedy series over here, and it's got these guys dressed up in Nazi uniforms. He's going, have you ever noticed there's a skull on our hat? He said, and he's going, are we the baddies?
Yeah, dude, everybody in the world knows that clip.
Oh, right, okay.
Have you seen Cecil's video on Biggles?
Yes, I did. I watched it. I finished my script first of all, then I watched it because I didn't want to copy any of his stuff. And his review of it is great. He goes more into the story, whereas I go more into just sort of the background bits and pieces of it. But yeah, Biggles is.
So what you're saying is your version is overrated and Cecil's is far superior.
No, they're just different.
I'm hearing because I watched both videos. And Cecil's my friend, and I don't really like you that much. So
that is a fair comment. That's a fair point. Yeah.
No. You both did. You should have linked his on your. Like you should have done a write up. Both of them.
Yeah, I was going to say like he was going to copy, promote mine.
Mm-hmm. You should have been like, look what this guy did, how he ripped me off.
Yeah. Even though it was made 3 years ago, that's not the point.
Yeah, it started a Twitter beef with him over it.
Damn YouTube and putting the dates on their videos.
Cecil's so much bigger, so he's allowed to backdate his videos.
Nazis weren't exactly the bad guys. No, Ferris Bueller. What's that? Ferris Bueller jumped the shark
when they trashed the Ferrari. No, he didn't. That was a logical. Shark? What do you know what jump the shark means, man? I mean, no offense, but that doesn't apply to that. I don't know what.
Sorry, what does jump the shark mean?
It's like it means like the point of a franchise or a movie or story where like something so ridiculous happens that all credibility is kind of lost and things are changed forever.
Oh no! I disagree with that with Ferris Bueller. That is a great moment in cinema history. It's brilliant, but it is also I like the way that it does open up Cameron's character of kind of no, I'm gonna take the heat for this, and jump the shark. That's a new one. But no, Sisu, coming back to Sisu, I watched Sisu and I thoroughly enjoyed every second of it. It was great. It was made on quite a cheap budget. And it was basically one man finds gold. Nazis try and take it away from him. They regret that decision.
And it's a foreign film, right? Like Finnish or something like that.
No. It was in English. It wasn't English.
No. So is it the story set in like Finland or something?
Oh
like
yeah,
that?
sorry. So the story is set, like I say, I think it is in Finland, and basically he's left the war behind, and so he's just out prospecting for gold so he can just retire. He finds his gold, but as he's heading back to his hometown, the Nazis are retreating because they've been given the order to, and that's where they obviously end up meeting and everything else. And honestly, you will enjoy it. It was good. The kills are very much like, and it was good.
Heidi's baiting me in the comments. She knows that she's bringing up a subject that's hard for me to not talk about. Stop it, girl.
I'm not even going to put that up, Heidi, because that's just going to get us. That's just going to get us banned.
Heidi, Heidi, the last movie Outpost live stream is not the Sean Instagram page. You can't say things on here you can't talk about the things on my Instagram that we talk about over here.
Those places are two very, very different places,
Yes.
and let's keep them very far apart from each other. But no, I highly recommend Sisu. It was great fun. Pardon me.
Did you know did you know that on that subject? Did you know that Heidi's great grandpa was an SS man that fled to South America? Unironically, I'm saying here.
Right, you guys didn't answer me on Jacob's Ladder, so I'm now going nuts. Right, Sean, I know doesn't like Jacob's Ladder because.
Yes, I don't like shit that doesn't actually take place in the reality of the story you're watching, and I don't like. Oh, it was all in the head the whole time. You know, what's the point?
The first movie is great. I really like it. It's really well done. The remake, I couldn't get through it. I gave it like 20 minutes.
They remade that? No shit.
It was quite recent. It was like 2020, I think it was. It was quite recent, but I gave it 20 minutes and couldn't get through it. It was rubbish.
Oh.
It was rubbish. Wow, spoilers.
Oh, sorry. Whoops. Sorry I ruined this 40-year-old movie for everybody.
Yeah, for crying out loud, keep up. Next you'll be saying you were annoyed that I said that Vader was Luke's dad.
What?
Hey, we shouldn't joke about people in the SS and everything else because my see, I can't do it.
Come
I was
on,
going to do the.
You do it. I was hoping you was going to go to that, but now you've
Hang on, because my grandfather died in Auschwitz. He fell out of a machine gun tower. Thanks for ruining my life. Oh, that wasn't us that did that, Heidi. I'm sure you had quite a lot to do with it. Anyway, right, okay, we are going to call it quits. I was only supposed to be doing a quick one today.
Wait a minute, we still got 30 more minutes.
No, we haven't.
Let's catch up on what we've seen recently. Have you seen anything new lately?
Oh, I'm going to have to check my listings because I can never remember what I watch. Tracked. But I do keep a record of everything. History. Here we go. No, not saying that. Not saying that. Not saying that. Right. Okay. So John Wick Chapter 4 I saw, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I
thought it was fun, but it was a little too long, and there was parts of it I was like, I found my mind wandering, and that's not good for me because I'm like, I mean, this is a movie where a guy is shooting and killing people, and suddenly I'm thinking to myself like, come on, man.
Yeah, the whole stair sequence was just sort of.
That was what got me, the stair sequence at the end. Yeah.
I watched something called Baby Ruby the other day, which I thought was going to be a horror, but it wasn't. It was just about some woman dealing with the fact she had a baby. But it had Kit Harington in it, so I thought I'd give it a try, but it was rubbish. I did watch Von Ryan's Express for the first time. That was quite good. That was with Frank Sinatra.
I don't like Frank. So Cocaine Bear. I know I think we had a kind of a split decision on that between me and you, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah, I was very disappointed in that. I think it was such a high concept for an exploitation film, ruined, wasted. Like no gore, almost no gore. I mean, they had it, but it was like they should have lingered on it. It should have been more.
Yeah.
I just didn't like that.
Boba Phil, I have a recommendation for you. The new Star Trek game is basically a Star Trek TNG.
We're not talking about Star Trek.
Oh,
Star
really?
Wars.
Yes. No, I do like my Star Trek. Yes. Right. No, other films that I've seen. I watched Paint, which I thought was going to be like a Bob Ross thing, but it wasn't, and it was rubbish. I watched Young Sherlock Holmes because I'm planning on a video.
That is a great movie. I love that movie. That is such an underrated, unknown gem, overlooked, whatever you want to call it, man.
It is. It's a cracking little film. Is Young Sherlock Holmes.
Hell yeah.
I watched Army of Darkness again recently because I hadn't seen that for a while. Boiling Point,
which
is a one-take shot in a kitchen restaurant, and it was really good. I think I saw the Critical Drinker recommend it, so I thought I'd give it a try, and it was very interesting. I watched Sisu, watched Black Rain.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, weirdly, I got that Black Rain confused with
BBC.
No, no, Black Rainbow. No, not Black Rainbow. Hang on. No, Rising Sun. Rising Sun with Sean Connery. Because they're both very similar and came out at similar times, and I got them confused. But I ended up watching both of them and quite enjoyed both of them as well.
Yeah, both of them were very entertaining.
I watched Still, which is the story about Michael J. Fox. Probably shouldn't have done that.
Disavow. Marty McFly, man. How can you diss on Marty McFly?
Still, the documentary on Apple TV is fantastic. It is really, really good. It's really, really good.
You know how Michael J. Fox does his laundry? He just fills up a bathtub, throws in his clothes, and gets in.
I also watched Air, about the Air Jordans, which actually was surprisingly entertaining. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did, but it was actually quite good.
Over here, there's a certain segment of the population that will literally kill you to take your Air Jordans.
Really? How strange. Over a pair of shoes? Well, how strange. I watched that One Ranger with Thomas Jane as a Texas Ranger in London.
That sounds dumb.
Well, no, I thought it was going to be quite entertaining. It was terrible. Everybody in it was awful. It kept making me laugh because Thomas Jane sounded like Billy from Switchblade all the way through. Kept talking like that.
Billy Bob
Thornton. Yeah. Just every time he said a line, I just laughed because it just sounded like, I'm going to track me down this guy and kill him.
And then I'm going to have me some French fried potatoes.
It's like my impression of, what's his name? Forrest Gump. Okay, Jenny, I'll look after the AIDS baby. Michael J. Fox passed away. When?
No, he didn't.
That's not been in the news. I'm going to have to chat. I watched Evil Dead Rise.
Oh, I've heard some mixed reviews about that.
I've been having an argument with somebody at work who said they thought it was really funny like the original. And I was like, no, it's nothing like the original. The one thing that got me about it was, there's an opening shot and then there's this bit where she rises out of a lake and then it says, Evil Dead Rise. And I kept looking at it thinking, this has been made with a budget of like $150 million, as opposed to the original Evil Dead, which was literally made on $150. Quite literally. And with it, he said that it was a comedy, and I kept thinking, no, if you look at it, there are comic moments in it, but the rest of the film takes itself really seriously. So when there are comic moments, they're just stupid. As opposed to like, Army of Darkness, where it's kind of, no, we're all having fun with this. I didn't rate it. I didn't go much on it.
Cecil did a review of it, and I'm not sure exactly how he come down on it. But memory serves, he was like, meh. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Renfield was actually quite enjoyable.
I actually I was getting ready to rent that when I saw you and then I was like, I should just hop on with Phil.
Renfield was quite enjoyable. I know the worst thing about Renfield is, a Chato said this the other day, Aquafina. She kind of fits part of the character she's playing, but then later on she becomes like a badass cop shooting people, and it's like, no, I don't believe that at all.
Well, Cecil said that Cecil had that kind of problem with it too, but he said as it developed, he thought it was fine. So I don't know.
It's worth a watch. It's worth a watch. I rewatched Cliffhanger the other day, which was great.
That is a pretty good action movie from the 90s. I can't believe that Troll Prince the White in the comments said that the 90s was the best decade for film. Now, talk about an unpopular opinion. He must have been born in 1987 or something is the only thing I can figure. Because anybody that was not born in the 70s thinks that the 90s was like, oh, the great decade of movies. But they're wrong because they're stupid. And we all know it was the 80s, late 70s, and then the 80s, obviously.
Absolutely. I watched The Pope's Exorcist. Now, apparently the Critical Drinker liked this, but also the Critical Drinker had an interview with Russell Crowe. So I think he was a little bit biased. I thought The Pope's Exorcist was absolutely terrible.
I think
Laughable.
the critical drinker has suddenly found that he's gotten so big that these things happen.
You get in interviews with people and it's like, no, this film was awful, but he quite liked it, and I was kind of
sorry, critical drinker, but I won't have to press X the doubt on that one.
I started watching Citadel on Amazon, but I gave up after the first episode. Way too much green screen, and it just wasn't very interesting. Peter and Wendy, that was awful. I kept saying how the 2003 version with Jason Isaacs and the kid playing Peter Pan was Jeremy Sumpter. 2003.
You know what's gay and green and flies through the air? Peter Pansy.
This new version, coming back to it, this new version, Peter was just, it was a complete non-entity of a character. It was obviously all about Wendy and Tiger Lily as well. Jude Law's kind of having fun because he's having a free holiday. But it was terrible. It was terrible. I did watch Super Mario Brothers. That was great.
My friend,
I really enjoyed it.
My friend Mario really loved it. He went and see it like 3 times. In fact, you might have noticed on my Instagram how much he liked it by the fact that he made all of our group of friends, minus me, dress up like Mario characters and go to the film with him. Did you see that?
I would have paid good money to see you dress up as Mario, though.
Oh, I'm not Mario. He's Mario, though.
Oh no, but it's Luigi or whatever. I'd have paid good money to see that.
Did you not see that picture of them, of the fellas?
I think so. I've been editing other stuff lately, and I've not been keeping up with social media, so I do apologise. I can't help it. I've been working on, just to get this out of the way, me and my dad, who made films, don't joke because he's dead and you're not allowed to. But since he died, I've now started working on the first production without him in 22 years. Anyway, Scream 6 was rubbish. Winnie the Pooh. Go on.
Have you watched that Bloody Hell on Amazon yet? I reviewed it.
Yes, I have. I saw it anyway before the review went up, and yes, I really liked it. It was
a lot of fun, isn't it?
It was, yeah. It was great fun. It was really good. I watched Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and I think our other Sean reviewed it, and I had the same opinion that they took the film far too seriously for it to be enjoyable. And it didn't work. There were some great kills in it. I like the fact that there's a girl in a hot tub, and they chloroform her. But they chloroform her and then take her out and tie her up and then run over her head with a car. So
I don't know. You kind of just sold me on it, though.
It's worth a watch, but it does take itself too seriously. And if you're making a film about Winnie the Pooh, the one thing I did like, and again, I'm going to sell you on this, is Christopher Robin turns up at the beginning with his new wife and says about how he used to be friends with Pooh and that. Pooh and Piglet kill his girlfriend, and then it's got Christopher Robin. They're about to kill him, and he's going, "No, Pooh, I thought we were friends. And I was sort of going, Pooh's gone so psycho that his old friend, he's just going to kill him.
I don't like you guys told a review, but now you're like telling me how great it is. I'm confused. I'm going to watch it for sure.
It's not a great movie, but it's worth a watch.
Okay.
I'm saying. I watched Ghosted with Anna de Armas and Chris Evans. That was atrociously bad. Awful movie.
Why would you even watch that? I don't even understand.
Anna de Armas was in it. I didn't give it a go. And I watched The Great Train Robbery because I'm doing a video about that as well, which is quite a good heist movie.
That's basically a good match for you because you make train movies, and now you're going to make a movie. You edit train movies, and now you're going to do a review of a movie about trains.
If you'd have been reading the comments, me ignoring your Instagram, if you'd have been reading the comments, I was originally going to make it for my other YouTube channel, but I'm now not going to. I'm going to make it for Last Movie Outpost. But that was the plan.
And I'm sure we're all very happy about that.
Oh, shut up. Pinball was quite good. I really enjoyed that.
Is that the one about Tommy the Pinball Wizard?
No.
Oh.
It's about the guy who in New York they had pinball banned because they said it was gambling, but he proved that it wasn't gambling, that you could actually play it with skill and win. It was a quirky little kind of sort of pseudo documentary, but I quite enjoyed it. It was quite enjoyable. It was quite a good laugh. Shazam! Fury of the Gods was awful. 65 was bad. Inside was not bad. Creed 3. Tetris was quite good as well. That was again kind of the same thing about how Tetris sort of got out of the, that was quite good. Pulp Fiction, not reading that. Poltergeist 2, Drive. I watched with
the greatest movie of all time.
It's so good. It's so well done. It is brilliant.
Is that the first time you've seen it? You just recently watched it?
No. I saw it when it first came out, and I remember liking it, and I just thought I haven't seen it for ages, so I put it on, and it's just one of those films that you're just transfixed for the whole 2 hours. It's brilliant. Not reading that. Planet Terror.
I love Planet Terror. I love Planet Terror.
It dragged on a little bit for me, I found. Just dragged on just a little bit too much. I watched Alice Darling with can't remember her name now, it's boring anyway. All Quiet on the Western Front, brilliant.
You talking about the Netflix one?
Yeah.
I don't think I would rate it as brilliant. Do you mean brilliant like the way I would use brilliant, or you mean brilliant like that slang English term where it just means, you really liked it?
No, I thought it was really, really well done. I love the musical tone in it of the and just the way he goes from this cheerful, oh wow, we're going to join the army, to this beaten up, I think it's a fantastic film. Really good. It put me right off war.
It made me not ever want to go. I don't know, man. After I saw that movie, it just changed my mind completely about the horrors of trench warfare.
I'd always been quite looking forward to it, but now not so sure. I watched The Last Dragon, which was with basically the black kid who they kept saying was going to be the next Bruce Lee, and it was pretty bad. And then at the end of it, it became all magical.
Wait a minute, what? The Last Dragon?
Yeah.
Oh,
from 1980.
Who's the master?
Yeah, and it was. I was quite enjoying it, and at the end, it really just sort of like, oh, now we're going to put in lightning and stuff, and it's just like, okay.
That movie is a masterclass in blaxploitation.
Very much. I'm going right back now here.
Somebody just brought up Bruce Willis, and it got me thinking about my recent reviews of the Death Wish movies and the 2018 Death Wish. Did you ever see that?
Yes, but I couldn't tell you a thing about it.
Never mind then. We won't discuss it since you don't remember anything about it.
Yeah, Bruce Willis in it.
He is definitely in it. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Eli Roth, he got it,
See, I'm not a big Eli Roth fan when it comes to making films.
Well, no, I agree, but he didn't. He knew what he was doing with this one. He made a revenge, exploitation, very violent. I think you should give it a second watch.
Oh, okay, that's fair enough. I watched Action Jackson the other day for the first time.
I never did like that one.
Yeah, it was all right. It was, like I say, it's perfectly harmless kind of action movie.
What is going on in this world where these idiots in the comments are talking about Sudan and China and oh my God, how do things just go off the rails?
This is why I've completely ignored them now. I'm just,
Yeah, right. I'll stop.
I watched Tammy and the T-Rex.
Oh, a masterclass movie.
I all the way through, I was just laughing at the whole stupidity of it. I really enjoyed it because it was so stupid. I watched Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's with David Hasselhoff as Nick Fury. That was quite entertaining because it was so awful. Masters of the Universe with Dolph Lundgren as He-Man. Not reading that one. I watched The Beyond for the first time.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I've tried watching it in the past, but I couldn't quite get my teeth into it. But I gave it another go, and the second time, I mean, it's I love the bit with the spiders. How you've obviously got some real spiders, and then some spiders which are definitely not real.
My favorite part of the movie is when she falls over and then just lays there as acid slowly pours on her.
Yeah, it was great. It was great in a sort of stupid way. Not reading that one.
Jesus, Heidi, please tone down your anti-Sino opinions before you get us banned. Take it easy, all right? Save that for my Instagram page or something.
Wow. God, yeah, they're having a right go with each other, aren't they?
And, yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, Carl Weathers is one of those actors, like I say, if he's in something, I'm quite happy to watch it because he's generally pretty good.
I love it in Predator when he gets his arm blown off.
Yeah.
And it's and the arm's still shooting.
Yeah, as it falls to the ground and that.
Yeah.
I watched a very controversial movie the other day. I don't even know if I can say it on here, but I did watch Song of the South.
Oh, yeah, that's a good movie.
It is. Zippity-doo-dah. Right, and now I'm going back sort of really old school with stuff. I watched the original Little Shop of Horrors with Jack Nicholson.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realise that was like the Roger Corman one. It had Dick Miller in it and stuff. And it was nowhere near as good as the remake. It was two completely different things.
Yeah.
We have talked about The Colour Purple because The Colour Purple is now coming out as a musical. And I'm hoping that it's going to be as much fun.
We got to get our monthly the Goyim have to have their monthly movie about slavery, followed by the every other monthly be fed the Holocaust movie. So you get slavery movie 1 month, the next month Holocaust movie, then a slavery movie, then a Holocaust movie.
I said, so are they going to do Schindler's List, the musical? Yeah. We're going to the gas chambers.
The gas chamber. We're off to the gas chamber.
There is no water, only gas.
Why does this have a wooden door? Why is this chimney not even connected to the building?
No, stop it, don't.
What is it with these? What is it with the weird? Why is there a maternity ward and a swimming pool and a death camp?
Moving on, I did watch. I don't know if you've seen this, but I did watch Infinity Pool by David Cronenberg's son, James Cronenberg, I think he's called. That was actually quite good. I quite like that.
Yes, Heidi, we all know that they built the gas chambers after the war. We're all not retards here.
Right. I think we're going to call it raps because it just seems that the chat is just turned into a completely anti-Semitic and anti-hating. Why do
you say that like it's a bad thing, Phil?
Because we're going to get banned. It's fine on your Instagram. Right. Okay. So, it's been going across. I didn't turn the thing off. Boba, Phil, Drunken Yoda, Matt. We're not putting your Instagram or anything down there. Don't ever look up Sean on Instagram or anything like that.
No normal functioning member of society that wants to keep their job and still have relations with their parents should follow me on Instagram because somebody might see that you follow me. That wouldn't work out well for you.
No. Oh, grief. Right, see, Acid Twin's now said that he is a Jew.
Who is?
Acid Twin.
Banned. Let me get that.
Do you know what? I was watching The Simpsons the other day, and there was a bit where these kids, these kids were looking at Krusty, and they're going, "You're one of them funny men with a big nose."
Yeah.
And they start to say, and he goes, "A Joker, that's me." And I was thinking, that's really close to the mark for a primetime television show.
Isn't his real name like Herschel?
Yeah, he is a Jew.
Yeah, I know he is, but it's like something funny. Like
Herschel Krasowski.
Yeah, something like that.
Anyway, right, okay.
I love when he fakes his death and his tombstone says, "Hey, kids, see you real soon." Remember that?
It is funny the way The Simpsons get away with a lot of jokes because they're a cartoon. Some of the stuff is like a real life thing. You never get away with that. I still love my favourite part of that. One of my favourite quotes is Homer's trying to cheer up Lisa, and Bart says something, and he's going, "I'm trying to be a good father, you unwanted moron." And like I said, there's little gems every now and then that pop out that are great.
Probably my favorite line that always, like, I use it at least once a month, it seems like, is when Homer goes, "Trying is the first step in failure," and the lesson is never try.
Or to tag on to that is, if something's hard to do, it's not worth doing.
Or what you say about TV? Teacher, mother, secret lover.
Classic.
It used to be so good, man.
Yeah, back in the sort of like this sort of series 3, 4, and 5, maybe a bit of 6. Some of them were just absolutely brilliant. And then,
how do you think the Futurama revival is going to be? Because I think Futurama is kind of superior to The Simpsons, actually. I've
never been a massive fan of it. I've watched it, but I can't say I've ever kind of like religiously watched it. And they are funny, but to me, redoing it again, it's just kind of, it's just, we haven't got anything to do. We'll dig up that and do that.
Yeah. Oh, I see the chat now is just making up stuff that didn't even happen. I lost entire family during. Okay, sure you did, pal.
Right. Anyway, right, we are going to wrap it up now.
Here's the biggest line in the chat. Interesting stream, guys. Jesus, he can't tell the truth.
It was an interesting stream before you got here.
Oh, well, that's true.
Right. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Thank you for all leaving it so bloody late. But thank you for joining in. Sean, anything from you apart from Thursday?
No. What do you mean?
Well, Thursday we've got this. You've got the live stream with the other guys,
the fellas from Radiodrome. If you guys, I don't know, a lot of people that watch us probably likely have never heard of Radiodrome, but it was a movie podcast, and it was really popular. It's very good, and you can still go back and listen to some of them. It'll give you a little bit of a taste of what it'll be like this Thursday. But Cecil from Good Bad Flicks, everybody knows who that is, right? Even your dead dad knows who that is.
Cecil from Good Bad Movies. He's great.
Yeah, he's a famous
like that. We are.
He's a famous Bitcoin advisor.
Millionaire. What did he lose? Did he lose Bitcoin? I forget.
Yeah. So it'll be Cecil Trachtenberg, Josh Hadley, Peter Gage, and me. I probably won't interact on there too much because it's best just to let these guys go, because the chemistry of those guys on Radiodrome was great, and they all are very, very knowledgeable about whatever they choose to, whatever the theme of the movie theme will be. But if you got a time, you definitely try to watch it. What time is that? Your time?
Hang on, if you're doing it at 9 o'clock.
It's 3 o'clock right now. It's 3 p.m. right now.
So 6 hours from now, it would be 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I'm not doing that. If I'm not wrapped up in bed and with my cocoa and slippers on at 9:30, it's not going to be.
I can relate. It's actually going to be pretty late for me too. I'll probably be like, oh, my camera's not working, guys, and then I'll just let them go.
God, for crying out loud, guys, can you stop going on about Butlins being a Nazi camp? It is close. I've been to Butlins and it is close, but let's not go down that route. Right, okay.
I swear, all these guys, I don't know where it's like they follow my Instagram account or something like this.
Make sure you go to thelastmovieoutpost.com for all of your movie news, reviews, and everything cool about films. You can follow us on all the Twitter stuff and everything else there down below. Like and subscribe.
On the brand new and improved Last Movie Outpost.
I've done that. I've covered that. I've been saying that I've been doing most of the work and Matt has been doing bugger all.
I know.
Nothing.
He's so useless.
He's so lazy.
All he does is go on. All he does is post pictures of himself drinking in the sun and then going on about the Man of Steel.
Oh man, it's just it's embarrassing, really. This is why I didn't tell him that the stream was on today. I said it was cancelled. Anyway,
Heidi says that you should instead of my Instagram, you should go follow Heidi's Instagram though.
Oh, I do.
I mean, I'm talking to the people that are watching, not you. I know you
okay.
follow it. Yes, Heidi is very based and very funny for a woman. I'm sorry, let me rephrase it. I didn't mean it to sound so condescending. She's pretty funny for a blonde woman.
Anyway, guys, thanks for joining us. Share it, like, subscribe, and all that crap. And we will see you this time next week.
Bye.